14 minutes after the hour of 1 o'clock. Now, I do not know how I'm going to deal with these two editorial. I want to deal with the bullfistness of that former president of the Senate. But most importantly, I wish to deal with, firstly, the malicious allegations against Dr. Tim Gopi Singh. Now, when you are in public life, all types of allegations would be levied against you. But when they are frivolous and vexatious, you treat it and deem it to be malicious. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tim Gopi Singh, have been maliciously accused of a check being paid to his son he had been accused of paying his son $980,000. But what is so sad is that the author of the allegation and the perpetrators of the allegation lacks credibility. There is a politician going all over the place claiming that he has bombshell after bombshell, but that same politician was deemed by the High Courts of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago of lacking credibility. That politician is a stranger to the truth, but he decides to go to bed with the PNM party. To engage in treachery and to fabricate misinformation and disseminate it to the gullible ones. Dr. Tim Gopi Singh, a man who I've known for many a year. I've known him. Is one of the most approachable politicians you could speak of. Among other politicians that I know. I received a press release from the goodly doctor, and I wish to read it to the listening public, and I received a copy of the fraudulent check claiming to be a check issued by Dr. Tim Gopi Singh. You see, when they're trying to fabricate and engage in malicious attacks in an attempt to destroy people's credibility, Barry Garcia, they just bounce their head. Because they feel they're doing something, but you see, you're not dealing with stupid people all of the time. And any fraudulent act or malicious act can be made out very, very early. According to the press release, Dr. Tim Gopi Singh has instructed his attorneys to take legal and police action against the perpetrators of a vile fabrication purporting to be a check from Asa of a sum given to his son. You hear the name of the check come from Barry Garcia?
Yeah.
Asa?
Yeah.
And everybody know Asa is a company that deals with computers.
Yes.
Right? The check is blatant fraudulent document, is a blatant fraudulent document fabricated by the Minister of Education's political enemies for illegal and mischievous purposes. So they fabricate an Asus check. Asus is a company that produces laptops. And they fabricate a document and they put it out in the public and say, this check was paid to Dr. Tim Gopi Singh's son as a form of a kickback and all them kind of stupid talk. That is just already the extent that it will go. But I have a copy of the check. I have a copy of the check and I'm going to read out the check. That is the kind of mischief that the PNM have decided to go into. And a politician who have been deemed by the High Court of having no credibility.
So the High Court call him a liar?
A liar. A fabricator of truths. He makes up lies as he goes along. He even swears to affidavit. He's a scumbag. But let me continue. The check, the alleged check, is a blatant fraudulent document fabricated by the Minister of Education's political enemies for illegal and mischievous purposes. These are the facts about the check. Minister Tim Gopi Singh has no son by the name of Shane Gopi Singh. Minister Tim Gopi Singh's son's name is Shane Aliong, as he has been reported in the local media. So you see how nasty and dangerous this man is?
So they get exposed again?
They get exposed again. This politician who goes about the place and say, tonight I'm an ex-bacchanal, on the platform. Understand? He goes about the place making up lies after lies, trying to destroy people's character, all because his character
is tainted.
Is tainted and have been completed, totally finished with. No wonder why he's not getting the kind of response he was getting early on, because people have deemed him to be like the boy who cried wolf. And when he cried wolf, the people came out in the earlys until they get fed up that they no longer wish to hear him anymore. Because when matters go before the court, he loses the matters because the court expose him to be a person that lies and lacks credibility.
Extremely unfaithful to the truth.
Yes. According to Dr. Tim Gopi Singh's exposing the fraudulent and malicious attacks against him, below the check, there's a note clearly indicating that 2 signatures are required over 1,000. Now, you know some of those checks. Anybody who deals with business, Barry, you might have come across some checks for the sake of security. If a check is going to be issued and the check is going to be over 1,000, some checks, if it's over 10,000, it requires 2 signatures. So then you go to a bank, and if you're making on a manager's check, and the manager's check is over a certain figure, or over a certain amount, it requires 2 signatures, not just 1 signature from the bank manager. So at least you understand what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Certain checks require 1 signature, but once it's over a certain amount, it requires 2 signatures. So how can a check valued
Almost $1 million.
Almost $1 million.
Have one signature.
Have one signature, and I go show you the check. Because I like to deal with facts. Because when I got this message here, I said send all the documents to me. So here it is. They put the name Shane Gopi Singh on the check because the foolish, dotish, ignorant politician who always have a bomb to drop, a bombshell to drop, a bacchanal to drop, who engages in lies after lies, want to destroy Dr. Tim Gopi Singh and saying that his son, Shane Gopi Singh, and you know this dude, they're so foolish, Barry. They put the name Shane Gopi Singh on the check. That means they're looking for a name and they say, boy, all sure your name is Shane Gopi. And they say, yes, his name is Shane Gopi Singh because his son must carry the last name, the surname, Shane Gopi Singh. And that is where they bongs their head. Below the check, there's a note clearly indicating that 2 signatures are required over $1,000. The amount suggested in the check is $980,000, Barry. The check seems to be tampered, as it could be observed that the font, that is, the lettering, used to state the amount in letters to be paid is larger than the font used to state the payee names. Additionally, a white box can be observed underneath the amount in letters to be paid. A bigger size font is also used to indicate the date and the amount in numbers. 3 different font sizes. This shows inconsistency, which is not a corporate practice. In other words, if it is a corporate check, you don't have different fonts.
No.
You have the same font.
You have one check machine printing all the checks.
Printing all the checks.
And you just put in the relevant figures to...
No, you see, no. It's so dangerous how people, the extent people can go to scar and damage your reputation. And I just said, what happened to many other persons,
Yeah.
Where they go to the extreme to destroy people's character. But you see what happens that they are prepared to pay the price before the High Court. You understand? And it's for this reason the High Court have deemed them to be lacking credibility. And that's why I told people yesterday, but I don't know if you recall, I said a person swearing to an affidavit doesn't make that whatever they say in that affidavit is gospel truth. What they're looking for is hoping that people accept it as credible and as truth, and they go along with it and be so gullible and spread the rumors all over the place. But I'm happy that Dr. Tim Gopi Singh was able to quickly respond to this malicious attack against his character.
Unlike how Rowley can't respond to Anika Gums.
No, but he say he can't pay and he can't respond at all.
Yeah.
The press release continues. It calls attention that details of the receipt have been blocked with the intention of not allowing members of the public to contact the company and verify the authenticity of the check. So you cannot determine whether the check is authentic because details of the check have been blocked. So the authenticity of the check, you cannot determine at all. That is showing the level. But you see what happened? They're playing for the mob outside there, Barry. And hoping that the mob is going to accept it. I am so happy that they forwarded this document to me. Further, this check shows no proof of being in cash, nor endorsed, nor deposited. It has no bank stamp nowhere. So the check does not have any bank stamp to say, well, it was deposited, Barry. There's no endorsement. There's nothing on the check. But then again, when you issue these things to the illiterate, Barry, when you issue these kind of things to the illiterate, they call on radio station. Oh God, all I hear the latest. Tim Gopi said received this and he received that, and they accept it as gospel. Like how I hear some illiterate, uninformed people on a program, on a radio station saying that Ken Gordon resigned from the Integrity Commission when he was called upon to resign, which he never do.
No.
But I'm coming back to that just now. I'm dealing with Dr. Tim Gopi Singh right now. This man have served, Dr. Tim Gopi Singh have served this country. But you know, a person who claims to be a man of truth, who claims to be a man of integrity, only to find out that he's a man lacking credibility, involved in all types of fraud and corruption. All of a sudden, he becomes the angel of integrity and the archangel of honesty and truth. No wonder why the court have ruled against him and call upon him to pay damages and costs. I come in just now. Let me continue on this document here. You see, they watch the man, Dr. Tim Gopi Singh, and they want to destroy his character.
But they feel simple.
Yes, but they're not so at all, because Tim Gopi Singh is not no easy person to come along with at all. Additionally, well, let me kind of read that part already. This appears to be a serious implication of fraud involving both the minister and especially a reputable international US-Canada-based company. So the matter has been forwarded to the police for a criminal probe, as well as a civil lawsuit is to be filed against the original disseminator of the false malicious lies. So here it is here. The man who like to drop bombshell. Fifteen minutes going up to the hour of 2 o'clock. And Barry, I have just received breaking news here concerning that fabricated check. But people doesn't know what they're doing, you know. Barry, I tell you, Tim Gopi Singh is not an easy walkover, you know.
No, Gladi.
He's not an easy walkover.
Gladi, I wonder if people know he was one Trinidad top fast bowler at one time.
All right. Let me just read out the breaking news here, people. Because as the topic continues, you know, I'm only getting all the messages coming into me here because I think they have gone too far now with this malicious attack against Tim Gopi Singh. But let me read it out here. The malicious check is a major PNM conspiracy. Plus, lawyers have already sent legal letters to Jack Warner.
Beautiful.
Nalini Dial.
I'll tell you about her in a while.
And Ashton Ramsunda. They should receive them by this evening. The police will be asked to investigate. Ashton Ramsunda is a former Ministry of Education employee who simply turned against the minister despite the minister's kindness and employing him when he was unemployable. Also, the Ministry of Education is releasing a statement on the matter. Breaking news, citizens of the...
You know where I first saw that check, Daddy?
Yeah.
And I didn't respond to it or say anything, but I know it was coming back to him on Nalini Dial's Facebook page.
Well, right now, people are pulling it down.
She is the one that posted it up. And there's a thing called, a page called Kamla and Broken Promises.
Yeah.
A PNM page.
Yeah.
Which brings out some good stories and good articulation at times. It was on that page also because they was making reference it coming from Nandini Dial. Okay, it wasn't saying that it's dating, they was making reference it. And the comments thereafter, I was tempted to comment on it. But I said, let me hold my hand and hold my comments for the while to see if Tim Gopi Singh would respond to it before I make any comments. And as I'm happy to know that Tim has now responded in that way. So all of them who was jumping up for joy and making comments now will have to eat crow.
And I have a copy of the check. I will show the check just now.
Yeah, but they'll have to eat crow. And
No. This brings to mind Barry Garcia. The email gate. You see, I am more convinced, I'm telling you. I am absolutely convinced. And you see, there are the people who saying they want whistleblowers. I am absolutely convinced that the emails were fabricated. Those emails that Dr. Rowley used in Parliament that damage the reputation of reputable persons, destroy their reputation, their character. When he brought those emails to Parliament and he read all those emails and he used those emails as in an attempt to destroy the Kamla Prasad Bises's regime or government. Here we see now
similar behaviors,
but easier to expose.
Yes.
No wonder why the emails were filled with many errors. Because in their mischief, they partake of the cup of errors. You see, when you're fabricating things, Barry, there must be some time in that fabrication. You're going to make some errors, Barry. You will make some errors. No wonder why the email, Google International have discredited all the emails. And it's for this reason the Integrity Commission said, nah, this thing going too far because you'll give us something. And then you have Faris Alwari, an attorney at law, saying, well, if there is no form, the substance is here.
Yeah, you must look at the content.
And this big man, former High Court judge, Sebastian Venter,
drink that cup of tea.
He drank that cup of tea.
Yeah.
He drank the poison of the PNM propaganda, my party propaganda. Now they come after Tim Gopi Singh with his fraudulent check from ASA, an international reputable company. Well, you know, when you engage in fraud, the police coming for you. So, Austin Jacquona is to receive a pre-action protocol letter. Nanili Deyal, she's also going to receive a pre-action protocol letter.
Well, I'm not sorry for her, you know.
And Ashton Ramdusa.
I'm not sorry for her because she's a woman that had, even though you disagree with Marlene Coudray when she was the mayor of San Fernando,
yeah,
she may have done some things because you are an animal activist,
yeah,
and you are passionate about animals. But to make reference that it's good for her when her daughter was murdered, brutally murdered in Jamaica, I think that was a sad state of affairs. That tells you the level of stupidity of that individual.
Barry, watch at the amount of this check and watch the fraudulent signature, but read underneath the fraudulent signature. These people trap themselves, you know.
Those signatures are required for over $1,000.
And what figure you see above the signature?
$980,000. Just 20,000 short of 1 million.
And what name you see on that fraudulent check?
It is showing the name of Shane Gopi Singh.
Now you see how foolish these people are?
Halifax, NSUS1. To pay to the order Shane Gopi Singh. ASA Service Corporation, 1394 Egbert Road, Temple, TX 76503. Citibank NA number 2198 Quibby Road, San Jose.
You attend the waste and go continue reading that?
I'm reading it because I'm reading it so the people could understand the amount of filth on this piece of document.
Now,
Looking at the check.
For the sake of
the check number.
For the sake of the listening public, I have 2 High Court judgment. 2. Faik Mohammed versus Austin Jack Warner. Anand Ram Logan versus Austin Jack Warner. Barry, in those 2 judgments, the High Court judge have deemed Jack Warner of lacking credibility. Now that is a public document and it's open for the public. Anybody can go to the High Court and get a copy of those documents. And that is a judgment.
Gladiator.
Barry, if I start to read
Gladiator.
I get a next message?
No, I discovered something at the ending of the bottom lines where the money is supposed to be printed and the signature.
Yeah.
Why would it mark MP?
You see the nonsense?
Why would it mark MP?
You see the nonsense?
So this comes from some...
And I want to do the block off. What's on top? The block off the address.
But if you look at the coloration of the check, you will see
yes.
This is a Trinidad and Tobago government check.
No, that is ASA.
I don't believe it's ASA. I'm watching it.
ASA is a company, Barry, that produce laptops.
Yeah, but you're not listening to what I'm saying.
And what happens is that the ministry have been issuing laptops to students. So what this check is trying to allege is that Dr. Tim Gopi got a kickback from ASA.
But why would it mark MP
under
to the bottom?
What I'm telling them, the people and them in fabricating the document, they made fundamental errors. And that is going to be used against the perpetrators of that. You see what happened? They're trying to tarnish the image of reputable persons. And in so doing, I'm saying, look who they're trying that with.
But I would want to say a liar. A liar has no memory. No, watch the bottom of the check later, and you'll see some fundamental inconsistencies with that check.
Because I told Doctor, I said, Gopi Singh, send a copy. I want to see, because I like to deal with facts. I like to have black and white. You understand? Shame Gopi Singh. You see how dangerous these people are? And the font.
All the fonts different.
Different. And people, when I use the word font, I'm speaking about the lettering. The lettering are totally different. You see, desperation, acts of desperation, just to get into power.
This reminds me of what went on with Patrick Manning in 2009 and 2010 and 2008 and 2010.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the same people who were behind demonizing Kamla Prasad Bissessa is the very said people who were behind, together with Keith Rowley, demonizing Patrick Manning.
Yeah.
And I say that without any fear of being contradicted or any fear of criticism. It is the same set of individuals who are now in the act of demonizing Kamla Prasad Bissessa. It is the same set of individuals who were involved in the act of demonizing Patrick Manning and make him a hated person in Trinidad and Tobago.
If push come to shove, no, I did remember I told people I no longer wish to discuss Jack Warner, because as far as I'm concerned, I feel that he has been completed.
Yeah, he's politically expired.
Yeah, expired, completed. He's of no value, and he has nothing to offer to the national community. Understand? But you see, Sunshine is a family on this radio station, and that's why I choose not to
have no discussions with
them. Because Sunshine, those guys, I don't know, they are family on this radio station, and this is why I choose not. Because if I start to release the information, I'm going to say, when I read that judgment, I felt embarrassed to know that I have known Jack Warner for all my years, going all the way back to Power 102. And then, you know, when you go into the email gate, you see clearly that the ultimate purpose of email gate was to bring down the government. And one would have expected a man like the bareback leader. Yes, the bareback leader. I don't care who vexed with me about that. The bareback leader, so reckless, brought the document to Parliament, held secret meeting with Ken Gordon, and I listened to some foolish people calling in on the program with Aisha Wells, TC, and Ali. I forget his first name. are so misinformed. They are calling on the chairman of the Integrity Commission to resign, all because of this man who was at a banker for the Senate, Michael J. Williams, who was appointed Senate President in 1987.
And made a mess of the senator.
Made a mess of himself.
Made a mess of himself in the senator.
All of a sudden, he's speaking on behalf of everybody. Let me tell you this, Michael J. Williams. You don't speak on my behalf. Oh, the public have lost confidence in Zainul Hussain. Let me tell you something.
On what grounds?
Let me tell you something, Barry. I used to go to the High Court over the years. I loved it. It was my hobby of going to the High Court to listen to cases, criminal case, civil case. And I have earned a great amount of respect for people like Zainul Hussain, Appeal Court Judge Peter Jameda, Ivor Archie. Well, I enjoyed Ivor Archie.
Ralston Nelson. Even the Labastide.
Yes, Michael the Labastide.
And to some extent, this next one too. Christopher Hamill Smith.
Yes.
Brilliant minds on those bench. And Justice Lionel Jones.
Yes, and this man, Kangaloo. Wendell Kangaloo.
May so rest in peace.
And also Mendonca.
Alan Mendonca.
Hey, you know the name.
But you'll forget we used to be in court sitting down together?
Yes, Alan Mendonca. And this Humphrey guy, Stallmeyer.
Yeah, Justice Stallmeyer. And there was another appeal court judge, a female, Paula May Weeks.
Well, myself and she clashed.
Paula May Weeks. But you know what was, Gladdy, you know where I learned a lot.
Another one who I have a great amount of respect for, this current man here, Vassus Corcoran.
Yeah, Corcoran.
I have a great amount of respect for that man. You understand? You see, the thing about it is that when Michael J. Williams could just come out just so, all because he want to get a job. In the event PNM formed the government, he want to be Senate President, because this man, ever since he had demitted office as President of the Senate, he wants to go back there. And he writes letter to the editor. You see, a lot of people doesn't know that he writes letter to the editor, but the experts looking for story, they gave him prominence.
But wait, this Michael J. Williams is not the brother of Ronnie Williams?
Ronnie Williams.
Who was the Minister of State Enterprise on
PNM,
Ronnie Williams?
I know them. Barry, we know them because we know them a long time. PNM family. But he playing independent. Look, Precious, come here before I take over. She shift here. This evening. This evening.
Join us at 6 p.m.
Yeah, this evening. I tell us, Tim Gopison, sue them.
Gladdy, look Precious next to you. You have to behave yourself. She's a beautiful man. Look at that smile.